Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, well, Nick Collier here, and we're starting on a new job. This is kind of a small one, so it's probably just going to be this one video. But this guy brought in a hyper chamber, I believe it's called, for a jackhammer that goes on the end of a backhoe. And he's been having some problems with the, I'm going to turn this around, with the little valve that goes in here. And so he wants to put a new valve on. And of course the threads don't fit, and we need to cut the threads down. And also we need to expand this hole so we can get a socket in there and tighten it up and other assorted things. Plus he's got a he's going to hang this from his backhoe, and he needs a couple of steel bushings made, which we will handle a little bit later. Right now we're going to do this part. Stick with stick with me. We're going to have some fun. All right, so the first part of this project, I think, is going to make this step big enough so that a socket will fit in there, and he can get that on there. So we need to get a little boring bar, or a medium-sized boring bar, or whatever kind of boring bar we can find. This one's got the tip of it just chunked right off. So, but this is a good start. We'll go get another tip. For the moment, we can just put it in and that should do the trick. Take this old busted up one out, and at some later date we'll have to go in and sharpen it, because I will have run out of new ones. So we're going to go ahead and put that in play. Well, what I hate is these boring tips that are 90 degrees. So we're going to have to go resharpen this, give ourselves a little bit of room. And we'll be back. All right, we got a sharpened bit. We need to bring it around so that it's not going to drag. I'm thinking it's going to work. Let's give it a try. Seeing it's just a bit off. Just gonna rotate it a little bit, see if we can get it just a tad more square. Maybe I didn't tighten the shut. Oh, that! I knew there was some little noise going on. Click, click, click. That's much better. I think we're good. see that the countersink is nice and true, but the hole is out just slightly. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go in and bore that hole until it squares up. Then I can drill it to 29/64. Then I can tap it to 1/2 inch 20. Okay, well, we've got a really small bit in here that should be able to handle this. We're going to give it a shot. That's looking too low. We're going to have to jack that up just a little bit. Alright, let's see if this will do something. It will, and it's a bit too long. Alrighty, take our bit, bring it up a little bit. Yeah. That's too high. Somewhere right in there. And is that going to give us enough room? I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and bring it out a little bit further. All right. How does that look? And that looks much better. We might actually get something there. All right, let's give it a try. Okay, we got our tap in place. We're ready to rock and roll here. And we're just going to use a caress and wrench for the moment. Just get this thing to go in straight. All right. We got ourselves a good thread pattern in there. I think what we need to do is deburr that. Okay. That's got it. Now let's see if this thing will fit. Gonna fit like a dream. Of course the socket's not gonna fit. We better find a long socket that's gonna fit that. We'll be back. Okay, we're looking at the inside actually. Okay, here we are on the outside. Now, one of the important pieces that he said is if we come around and look at the inside of this chamber, that there's a diaphragm that that runs into that cup, and the plug and the hole need to line up exactly. And if you look at that, what are we about? Oh, I don't know. We're a good 1/16, maybe no, I'd say a good 1/8 short of being right at the base of that plug. So we're going to have to take a little bit of material off of the all right, so we're looking at this surface here, and this needs to be exactly flush with the plug. And so what are we off? I'm thinking we're off by, well, that doesn't quite get all the way down. Let's just see if we can come in. Nope, can't get in with that either. All right, we're gonna dance around and see if we can find the right tool here. All right, well, we're gonna try a nut and bolt. Seems to be the only thing that's actually gonna fit in there. So we'll just take it down until it bottoms out. And that looks like it's bottomed out. And then take our measurement from there. And that is going to be and all we can do is eyeball it. We're looking at right at 100 thousandths. And that'll at least get us to that point. And then from there we can kind of dink with it. mess with it until we get to the right place. Now where's my mark? Come on, it's here somewhere. There it is. Take our plug out. And we need to take 100 thousandths off of this shoulder right here. So we've got the perfect tool to do it. This is where my DRO can come into play. Take it in until it hits. There it is right there. Click it to 0. We're going to want to bring this over until it hits. Click that to 0. And I think we are ready to roll. Well, we're looking at that inner plug there, and I think it's pretty even with the indent or the radius or whatever it might be called. It comes out just shy of it, but by the time you get down to the center of that, it's even. So we're going to call it a day with that. We gave it a good polish, and I think our customer is going to be happy. Now we go on with the second part. Okay, well, the next part of this job is making 2 bushings for him, and we're looking at 2 3/4 hole, 4-inch outside diameter, and 1 3/4 inch length. And I think we've got all of that within that one little piece. And it turns out that piece I had just laying around. Not bad, eh? So 2 3/4, no sweat here, because that's 2 inches. We know that's 4 inches, and we want to make sure we've got 1 3/4 here. So we've got 3 600. So that gives us 1,750. All right, I got to get the calculator out. There's just no way around it. My brain doesn't work anymore. 1 3/4. 1,750 times 2 equals 350. So we are 100 thousandths shy of having, well, more like 75 thousandths shy. So if we cut this in half with a the saw, I think we'll have it. And I got to answer that phone. All right, well, we're down to, or up to 705 thousandths, and we need to go to 750. So we have maybe one more cut. Let's do oh yeah, first I want to bring this thing out just a little bit. Because I want to be able to cut it off. And let's take it that last 50 and see what we can do. Well, that's a reasonable finish, but not as clean as I'd like. So maybe what I want to do is just kind of trim up this bit just a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Nice and sharp. And what else do we want to do? Measure it. That's probably a good idea. And we are sitting at 2726. So we have 24 more to go, and I think I want to take it in 2 stages. So let's do 10. And so 10 would be there we go. let's see what that's gonna say. Two, 7. So 2750 42. 2742. So we got 18 more. All right, so let's come back. Okay, we got that part done. So now we're gonna split this thing in half, and that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's square it up on the face. All right. And I'm thinking we can bring this in a little bit and save ourselves some chatter. Yeah, that's better. And we can turn our fans off. Okay. Now, can we come in there? All right, let's see, halfway. All depends on how badly out that part is. So we're at 365, and let's go part way around, almost the same, 370. And 355. So we're within 10 thousandths or so. So half of that. let's just scratch it. So that would be 1.5 and 250, 1.5, 250, and somewhere in that general area, I would say. Looks pretty good to me. We'll bring that down, bring our cutter over on my head. Oh. Looks like we need to move that just a little bit. That looks like halfway to me. Make sure we're clear, and we are. We're going to go pretty slow here. Well, that didn't work out too well. Took off half of my chunk here. Okay, fine. Just getting a little too aggressive. Luckily we got a little bit of blade left. I gotta go sharpen it a bit. Pulling a good chip. All right, well, you didn't see it cut because the battery, or not the battery, but the disk space ran out. So there's that. But we separated them. And now we're gonna trim up the ends and chamfer them, and we're set to go. So get a little bit more angle on that. Turn it on. Speed it up. Maybe not that fast. All right, well, we got him. And this is all he wanted, was a fairly accurate center, and everything else is totally rough. So, all right, well, that was a quick little piece. It only took me 4 hours. I'm not going to charge him for the whole 4 because I broke a bit and a bunch of other dinking around. So I'm guessing he's got 3 hours into this, and then the 2 sleeves. So, hey, that was a nice little fast one. This is Nick Collier, checking out.